What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome back into another edition of NASCAR Mailbox. This weekend, we're going to take a look back after the races at Gateway and Portland. And now this question comes from Justine G1621. They ask, how come AM Racing keeps giving Deegan a car that winds up having issues? It seems like every race there's always something wrong with Deegan's car. Apparently at Portland, the number 15 team battled with a broken spark plug all race and her tire came off. Now, Deegan's not having the best season of the full-time driver. She has the worst average finishing position with a 26.1. Beginning of this season, there was potential as at Las Vegas in 2022. In the Xfinity Series car, she finished 13th. In the Truck Series season a year ago was relatively dismal for jumping into a Thor Sport truck. So there were high hopes, but Deegan has not really lived up to the expectations of, now it's an Xfinity car, it seems like to be more of her driving skill. But it's just, you got to realize Ford has a weak pipeline to get to the Cup Series. If you look, what teams are there in the Xfinity Series, you have Stewart-Haas Racing, which obviously gets the most money with Ford, but they're closing down at the end of the season. Then it's AM Racing and RSS Racing. That's it for Fords in the Xfinity Series. It's dominated by Chevys. And when you don't have that support, it's really tough to get that money in there. And AM Racing, Tim Self, the president, has more or less sponsored the cars that have been there last season. AM Technical Solutions, which Tim Self founded, stepped down into a director role, principal director. So he's not really involved in that operations as much. But that sponsorship was on the car last season with Brett Moffitt. And this season was Airbox, which is also owned by Tim Self. So Tim Self is sponsoring a lot of the cars in his Xfinity Series garage, even whether it's Moffitt or Deegan. There's only been a couple races this season that Deegan didn't have a sponsor. That's Airbox. So it's really tough for teams like that to get ahead. And, I mean, he also added it's probably because of the lack of sponsorship and being an underfunded team, which is probably why AM Racing can't afford a better car or make better upgrades. It's always about that sponsorship game. And even if you look at when Deegan was at Thor Sport, there wasn't a lot of sponsorship. She was mainly running a Ford performance car. It was a Ford-sponsored team. And you even saw it this past weekend with Frankie Muniz. You know, he has to partner up with Emerling Gase Motorsports, which rarely runs Fords. And he had issues as well. It's just the pipeline that Ford has is not being really productive to bring up, like I said, Cup Series ready teams. I mean, you look at it, and even the Truck Series, it's just Thor Sport. You got Front Row, and then you've got Josh Raheem's team, 22, the 33, 34, that's mainly running Ford. That's it. There's not a lot of options if you're a Ford driver, which there seems like to be there quite a bit, to really progress well. So it's more of a development issue with Ford. That is the issue with EDE and why she's not been running well, and we don't have those resources. Those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to have, you know, things that are going to be overlooked. You're going to have mistakes that's going to happen because it's not the best of the crop. And that's why she's suffered this season and it's been a dismal season where she seems like she's in the eye of the storm, getting wrecked out early in races. Already has, you know, only, I believe 4 lead lap finishes at this point. And last season, Brett Moffitt had 22. So it's been a really tough season for Deegan to adjust and, you know, having a team that can compete. But like I said, that is racing. So that's why you see AM Racing with the Airbox. That is actually a Tim Self company. Austin Wayne Self, that name sounds familiar. That is his father, still owns that race team. But that is why Hailie Deegan has been struggling so far this season. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. That really helps our content out. Until next time, as always, make sure to have a great race weekend.
What's up? Michael Massey here, frontstretch.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.